So you remember how in the previous video I mentioned that the next build that I do may be the worst build idea that I ever had? Well, this is that bad idea build. Use wands to do damage, well, damage in quotes because the damage is pretty bad. And also you summon skeletons and raging spirits every time you attack. It is horrible, but I think it can be made into something more pleasant to play. So this is more like a theory build video. My goal for this build was sort of be like an active summoner. Using new unique deployed spend wand, which scales with player level, I would be doing damage with some wand attacks, and at the same time I would also be summoning minions with my attacks. You know, there are already plenty of gimmicks with this wand, like Desecrate and Volatile Dead, or even Desecrate and Body Swap, or you can do a proper attack/spellcaster using Crown of Ice. But no, I wanted to test newly buffed skeletons and raging spirits, and since this is a big hybrid, I went for Scion, Assassin for crits, and Necromancer for minion damage. Because of Assassin, each time I would crit I would maim enemies, making them slower, which would make it easier for skeletons to chase them. And besides the Poet's Wand, I did not need any other special items. Well, besides Abyss Jewels for minion damage or wand damage. However, in practice, this build feels so bad. I was using Barrage because my damage is really low and Kinetic Blast costs way too much mana. And actually Kinetic Blast was even worse against single target. I currently have about 2000 tooltip DPS on a Barrage on a 5-link armor, that is per projectile, and it shoots 4 projectiles, and I took most of the wand nodes from the passive skill tree. So yeah, because of the Barrage my clear speed is terrible. I was focusing on getting flat damage, which is probably a mistake because the wand already gets flat damage, and I got Abyss Jewels with flat damage, so it's probably better to get percentage based scaling. Since I got plenty of elemental damage, it may be better to go elemental overload and not going for crit. Well, the tricky part is that if you focus only on wands, then your minions will do basically terrible damage. Talking about minions, initially I planned to use only skeletons, but I decided to also add raging spirits, and they are linked with melee splash, because without melee splash the clear speed is basically non-existent. You can dual wield those wands, but I needed more survivability. And besides, the price for those wands just keeps going up. I am using from Dust Jewel to summon 3 skeletons at a time, and I do have 9 skeletons maximum. It also adds 1 second cooldown for summoning skeletons, so I don't really need that high attack speed. I also wanted to use Impulse's Broken Heart to shock enemies easier, and shocked enemies would explode, dealing damage to surrounding enemies, which would probably increase my clear speed, but I just wasted too much currency trying to 5-link it. So for that reason I was also planning to use Wrap Aura and Herald of Thunder for more lightning damage and hopefully shock bosses, at least slightly shock, so that my minions would do increased damage against shocked enemies. Also I am using Poacher's Mark because I do need accuracy, and lowering enemies evasion is good idea because minions also have pretty bad accuracy, and cursed enemies give mana and life on hit. So with the Barrage it does feel a bit more, well, less squishy I guess. So as you can see there is some sort of synergy, but it's still not, well, not pleasant to play. The damage is just very delayed. Your wand attack does very little damage, and then you have to wait for skeletons to be summoned, then for raging spirits to be summoned, and for them to start attacking. And minion damage is not that great unless you invest into Abyss Jewels with flat added damage to minion, but in that case your wand damage will just be completely terrible. Now if we look at my passive skill tree, I took, well, the main wand nodes, most of the minion damage nodes, couple crit nodes, and well, there are more crit nodes that can be taken, and couple more minion nodes, and a lot more life, and more jewel sockets. Oh, and my Barrage was linked with added lightning damage, elemental damage with attacks, critical strike chance, and pierce, because I really needed more clear speed, and piercing enemies just increases my clear speed slightly a bit. So there you have it, a very bad build, but interesting idea. I really like this Poet's Wand. You can do so many different things with it. You can do some sort of Dark Pact build, summon skeletons and use Dark Pact right away. Maybe even with Crowns of Ice, getting spell damage which would then convert into attack damage. So your wand attacks would do some damage. Just maybe not minions. I would love to hear what kind of crazy builds you can make with this wand. So leave your theories in the comments. As for my next build, I am already leveling Lightning Tendrils, Crit Inquisitor, without casual channeling. Oh, and I have been streaming every day since the launch of the Abyss League, plus Facecam. and I will hopefully continue doing that at least until New Year's. Check video description for more info. And that is all. Thank you for watching and see you soon.